The following is a Joel Michalec production. The following episode of the Joel Michalec Show takes place between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Come aboard. We're expecting you and love. Life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. Love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat. All that I hope for 'tis of thee. Love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you.
Tonight, Grammy and Emmy Award-winning composer Charles Fox. Charles is one of the most celebrated composers of the late 20th century, having written such musical gems as I Got a Name, Ready to Take a Chance Again, as well as over 100 television show themes. We'll learn what it was like to be working with Gary Marshall, Jim Croce, Barry Manilow, and many more. Tonight on The Joel Michalec Show.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you.
And we'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make our dreams come true for me and you.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I'm Groot.
That's a really bad sign.
Welcome to the program, everybody. Hello, and how are you? It's Sunday night here on the Big Show. Glad you can make it by. My name is Joel Michalec. Joining me in studio tonight, Mr. Don Beam. Don, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Without further ado, tonight on the program, we have with us one of the greatest composers of, I would say, my generation, Tony's generation. And he has been composing music, pop music, television, motion picture music, and other stuff as well, which we'll find out about, for quite some time now. Charles Fox, you may not know the name, but you will know his work, like some of the montage that you heard coming in. So please welcome to the program, Mr. Charles Fox. Charles, good evening, sir.
Hi there. How are you, Joel? Nice to speak to you.
I'm doing very well. It's nice to speak to you. Welcome to the program, and thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Looking forward to it.
You, sir, are responsible for everyone on this staff's soundtrack of their youth.
Yes.
I never mind that. I mean, it's a very pleasurable thing to hear that the things that I wrote, many years ago are first of all had impact on people who are watching the shows and listen to music on records and radio, and it's a great feeling. So thank you for saying that.
And it's true. Now, also with all the television themes that you wrote, here's the other thing. A lot of these shows, if not all of them, there's so many channels out there on the television anymore. They're in syndication somewhere or other. And I can tell you firsthand, just from seeing it through my children, that your music, these soundtracks to these television shows and in these movies, you're gaining more fans with yet another generation who are catching up to it 30 years later or 40 years later. How does that make you feel that you're constantly collecting fans?
I have a little 7-year-old granddaughter who we took her to a concert the other day, and she was singing Happy Days, which gave me a great thrill. You know, you hear it personally like that. I have to tell you that I've traveled many countries around the world, and when you see those shows playing in other countries, I mean, I've seen like the Fonz and with the Hungarian accent, you know, and German and Love Boat in Israel. It's a very nice feeling to know my music accompanies it. And actually, some of those shows, I had records also, which were hit records in those areas too. So, in separate and apart from the television shows where they appeared, they're just on the radio as songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me feel great. I mean, I just thrilled with that.
And Happy Days is yet one pop song that you would still hear playing on stations that do 70s music exclusively or as an additional genre, like, you know, a mix of genres. But so that even made a pop thing. Now, an interesting thing, there's an interesting piece of trivia that I want to ask you about regarding the record that you see in the intro to that television show.
The Smithsonian had called a few months ago that they have a new permanent American Music Lane collection. Did I have anything to contribute to that? And I said, well, I thought about it and said, well, I had this record that was the record that was dropped on the jukebox and played at the beginning of the Happy Days main title, which was one of a kind. If you would slow down your machine, you would see that it just says Happy Days on this 45 record now. Happy Days, music by Charles Fox, lyrics by Norman Gimbel. And the producers gave me that as a sort of a gift many, many years ago, and it's been sitting in a frame in my, in a collection of other things that I have for all these years. So I said to them, what about this record? And they said, that would be perfect. So that record now is going to sit next to the Fonz's jacket at the Smithsonian as a permanent exhibit, and that makes me feel pretty cool. I mean, they asked me, did I want to give it to them, to will it to them, or would I like to give it to them now? And I said, I want to see it there now. I don't want to wait until after I'm gone.
Now, did you have a bout of separation anxiety, taking the record that had been in your possession and then passing the torch, so to speak?
Honestly, it wasn't even up on my wall or anything. It was just sitting in the back room, collected with a lot of other things, which I keep that have to do with my life and my career. No, I was just thrilled about the opportunity to do it. They actually call it being inducted into the Smithsonian.
Wow. And that's exactly what I wanted to ask you about. Thank you. I thought that was really cool, especially when I had read about it and I found out that it was the actual record that was dropped down on a jukebox. Because, again, Happy Days was, big when I was a child. So every night, you saw that record drop down on the jukebox. And
it's funny. Henry Winkler used to say when he would go on the air, like in a Tonight Show or something, that the band would play him on with that song because it's a connotation of the show, and he said that song follows me around like a tail every place I go. So now it's going to sit next to him in the Smithsonian. I'm tickled about that too. I think it's cool.
Right. And so other than television themes, Monday Night Football, a lot of people don't realize that you are the composer of that theme music as well, and that's another piece that's just been, going on for decades. Another one that just carries on and has become another earmark of sound to anyone who even remotely knows what football is, they would know your theme. And that's why when we cut the promos and we were promoing the fact that you were going to be here on the program, we kept telling people you may not know his name, but boy, do you know his work and probably every single piece of it.
Well, the first thing I wrote for television, actually, the first theme I wrote for television was in 1965 for Wide World of Sports. And all these things have stories behind them. When we did Wide World of Sports, ABC themselves thought they would try to do a sports anthology series. It had never been done before, so they figured they would give it a shot. And lo and behold, it was... now, that's one of the few themes that I've written that don't have lyrics, but they have words associated with it. called The Victory, Thrill of Victory and the Agony of Defeat, which also has become quite iconic. And then about 2 years later, ABC came out with Monday Night Football. And again, they didn't know if the wives of America, the women of America, would tolerate the husband sitting home watching football on a Monday night. I think the women eventually joined them and became football fans.
Oh,
It's still on the
absolutely.
air many years later. However, I must be honest, my theme was the original theme, but after 7 years, it was replaced. And I think they've had a number of... It's the only one of my themes that I ever wrote that was replaced with something else many years later. I have done, myself, newer versions. For example, even Happy Days and The Love Boat, which Jax Jones sang so wonderfully. After 10 years, Aaron Spelling asked me if I would do a newer version. And with a different singer, I asked Dionne Warwick to do it. So the last 2 years of the show is Dionne Warwick, and the same with Happy Days. We had a new version because they try to squeeze out as much freshness as they can after some time on the air.
Right. But the thing with those shows is they really need to be refreshed. I mean, they just, like I said, they just constantly, I don't feel this way with shows now. There's a lot of shows I just can't watch a lot of television anymore. I mean, because the shows, Love Boat, Laverne and Shirley, Love American Style, these shows are the kind that you can sit back and keep watching reruns, and you really never get tired of them. And I don't know what it is, but So, but you have worked not only in television and movies, and this is the basis of your book, which is Killing Me Softly, My Life in Music, is about the fact that you've worked with so many great people. And I didn't even know until I started the book, Lena Horne. I didn't, Fred Astaire. You have worked with so many people, and just like your music, you have a story. There's a story behind everybody you worked with. Who are some of the favorites that you've worked with?
Well, Fred Astaire, of course, was an amazing experience for me. Norman Gimbel and I wrote a song it was for a television movie, but it was a movie about these old timers living in a retirement hotel, and they wanted to see if they had any life in them yet. And there was a very horrible person. I think of like Nurse Ratched, from that movie years ago. And they really wanted to break the bounds of the restrictions in where they lived. And they went out and they stole a train. And they were zooming down the track. Of course, it was all in fun, and they wanted something to accompany that they would say they're still young at heart. So we asked Fred Astaire to sing a song, and he said he would. So we wrote a song just for Fred Astaire. And, Fred Astaire was a legend. I mean, one of the great legends of film. And it was a thrill just to meet him and to know him. But then to go to his house and rehearse with him. And curiously enough, the piano where we rehearsed was in his bedroom. And he used to sit on the edge of his bed singing. And I was at the piano next to him, and I would realize, here I am in Fred Astaire's house, and he's singing my song. And of course, when we recorded, he was the most dapper man in the studio. Came with a blue blazer and an ascot, and charming to work with, absolutely charming to work with, and gave it his all. He's in his 80s already, and at the point where I was happy with his performance because I produced it, he said, "Can I do it again?" I said, "Of course, Fred. We'll do it until you're satisfied." And he kept pushing himself, take after take, and finally said to himself, "Oh, come on, Fred, you can do better than that." And he was this living legend who was already as good as it gets, and he was pushing himself to do better. So, of course, that was an incredible experience, and I've been very fortunate in my life to work with some of these fascinating and outstanding legends in their field, and so it's been a great treasured memory for me having those experiences.
So Fred was a class act then, just as he seemed on screen.
He was a class act. He was truly a class act, yeah.
Now, you've also worked with, like I said, you worked with Lena Horne. You worked with Barry Manilow. You did some really nice work with him.
Well, I'll tell you an interesting story about Lena Horne. Yes, I did work with Barry Manilow. We wrote a song. Well, this was for a film called Foul Play, and there was a need for a song at the beginning of the picture that would tell that Goldie Hawn was supposed to listen to while she was driving on this beautiful scenic road above San Francisco. It was a high shot coming from a helicopter. And the music was supposed to plant a seed in her mind that she was going to sing along with, that it was okay to take a chance. Mm-hmm. That was what was in the script. And we had to write the song in this case before the film was shot because we needed her to sing along with it or hum along with it at least. So even before the film was shot, we thought of who would be the best singer, who she would, who was a big hit artist of the day, and that Goldie Hawn could sing along with her. Of course, there was no one bigger at that time in the late 70s than Barry Manilow. So I didn't know Barry Manilow yet, but we decided that if we wrote a good Barry Manilow song, that we might get lucky. And sure enough, all those things happened. You know, Barry heard the song, and he knew it was written for him, and he loved it right away. And he gave us an incredible recording of it, which he still performs in his act to this day. And
absolutely,
he's such a great guy. And it was just one of those things where everything came together, you know.
So when you wrote the song, and is this typical? I mean, for this song, so you guys decided or thought about at least who would sing the song before you actually got to work on putting the song together?
Usually you have someone in mind, for the kind of film that it is. You want to marry the voice with the character. Well, I'll tell you another story of another film that worked very well for me. Well, we didn't have that in mind, but the change worked even better, and that was a film called The Last American Hero.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jeff Bridges' first film, and we had written a song for the film that kind of set up the character, who Jeff Bridges' character was. You know, when you do a main title for a film rather, you don't want to give away the film. And at the end of the film, you don't want to wrap up the film because the audience has just seen it. So there's no reason to wrap up what the film was about. But even worse than that, you don't want to tell the story of the film in advance. So really, basically, what you want to do is something that introduces the audience at the beginning of the film to what this picture is kind of all about, and some familiarity with the character, so that by the time you see him, you know something about him. So we had done that, and we had a specific voice in mind, and he agreed to do the song that we wrote. And when it came down to it, we waited and waited. He hadn't finished the recording, and finally said he just couldn't do it. He didn't have the time, and it was a kind of a blow to us because now we had to scurry about and find someone at the last minute that could sing the song, who would then hopefully give us a record that could make some noise. Well, there was a young artist coming up on the charts with a song called Operator. His name was Jim Croce.
Mm-hmm.
And there was very little time left, so we called Jim Croce, reached him on the phone, and played the song for him over the phone.
Yeah, I always found that interesting when I read about that.
Yeah, and over the phone, he said, "I'll do it." He said, "I was moved by the song." So I made a full track of the orchestra in California on the 20th Century Fox soundstage with strings and everything, and I brought the whole track to New York to work with Jim. And when I met him the first time, we said hello and all that, and he asked me to hear the songwriter. He hadn't heard it since that first time. So I sang the song to him at the piano, and he said he knew he had to do this song because he knew it would make him feel closer to his own father, who passed away before fulfilling his own dreams. Well, tragically, that happened to Jim Croce. You know, his plane crashed. But I'll tell you about Lena Horne now. Curiously enough, I never worked with Lena Horne. I never met Lena Horne, if you want to know. But my experience with Lena Horne is still very touching because years later, after Jim Croce's... By the way, the song was called I Got a Name.
I Got a Name, right.
And it went on to become one of his biggest records. And actually, because it was one of the only, if not the only record that he had as a hit record of a song he didn't write. A lot of people think that Jim Croce wrote that song, and I'm always kind of flattered to hear that because he wrote such great songs. But in fact, that was the only song that he had hit with that he didn't write. And years later, his wife Ingrid called me if I would come down to San Diego and look through some of the music that he left over, if I would finish some of the songs. And I said, "Gosh, Ingrid, I'd be honored to do that."
Wow.
You know, thank you for asking me. So she said, "Well, who else?" She said, "You're the only other person whose song you sang." But what happened years later was I heard that Lena Horne was doing that song. But she did was Stormy Weather, which is kind of a signature song. She did about a minute's worth of that, and then she went immediately into her version of I Got a Name. And she did it really very differently than Jim Croce's version. But she brought the house down, and she made it very intense, and also about her father. And also she kind of put things in about her father in between the lines, and it was very driving and very emotional. And after a minute or so, the audience stood up and started cheering for her, including myself.
Wow.
We all got so caught up in it. Anyway, I didn't know Lena Horne, so I didn't make any plan to go backstage and pay her a call. But But I did send a bouquet of flowers the next day, and it just said, from a grateful composer. But then I got the nicest letter back from her the very next day, which I can pretty well quote to you, because I have it, that I have framed in my shelf over here in my studio. And it said, to the composer of my favorite song, you know, have no idea what that song means to me, because every time I sing it, I feel closer to my father. So it's just an interesting thing how, as a matter of fact, in Lena Horne's biography, that story is told also from her biographer's point of view in my song, and I mentioned her biography, so it's kind of a nice exchange. But in fact, I never met Lena Horne.
That's really interesting, too, that her and Jim Croce both identify with their fathers with that song.
A lot of people. I even heard that from Helen Reddy's husband. Helen Reddy recorded it, and her husband at the time, Jeff Wald, once said to me, that song had been very meaningful to Helen when she lost some of her family members in Australia, going back and forth to Australia, and she said that song had a lot of meaning to her because of the significance of the family and the father and all that. And so it's just an interesting thing sometimes how songs hit nerves of people, and it's a kind of incredible experience for me to know that I've written something that moves people, that and not just in this country, but in many countries. And I feel very blessed to have been able to do that.
Well, you have done some incredible work in composing, and also you're not even finished. Not too long ago, you wrote the theme song for the City of Beverly Hills.
Well,
so you're still very active.
I'm very active, but I'll tell you, I'm active not only just in those fields, but I'm also active in classical music and a lot of different and theater music. But this past August, I was in Poland, and I conducted a premiere performance of a new piece that I was commissioned to write by the Polish government, honoring the 200th birthday of Chopin. And so I went to Poland, and we had a big concert. We did a concert of 22,000 people, standing shoulder to shoulder in the area where the Solidarity movement started. And actually, this concert was a 30-year anniversary of the Solidarity movement. My own participation was under the 200th birthday of Chopin, and the great American clarinetist Eddie Daniels. I wrote the piece for him, and he came as well. And one of the great Polish pianists, a man named Leszek Mostar. So we had this fantastic concert with 22,000 people. I conducted the orchestra, the premiere performance. It was televised and everything. It was quite a big deal there. And the very next day I came home, we premiered this song that you just mentioned, the Beverly Hills, official Beverly Hills theme song, 90210 Beverly Hills, that I wrote with Hal David. And we had the great Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis
oh, wow.
there, and then they sang it. And then, of course, we've recorded it since. So that's my life in music. I go from one field to the other, and that's what I love to do. I love being in all these places, and it keeps energizing me,
Wow. Well, I find it even more amazing as I speak to you, and I'm learning from you all these different things that you're doing. As I said, you're already heavily responsible for the soundtrack of half my life. Mm-hmm. Between even the "Killing Me Softly," which went from Roberta Flack, who actually people don't know is not the first person to record it, but then of course 20 years later the Fugees take it. And what did you think about that the remake?
You mean the remix or the redo? Because there was an actual remix of Roberta Flack's record. When the Fugees record was number one, someone remixed Roberta Flack's record, and it became number one on the dance charts.
I didn't even realize that.
It was kind of a real explosion of time, and it was. There's nothing like the feeling when you've written something and you've been fortunate enough to have the kind of success we had with Killing Me Softly. I mean, we've had probably over 1,000 cover records in every language since that time. It was the number one record in every country. And then 20 years later, the same thing again.
Consistently standing the test in the sands of time.
It's just really incredible to know that there's a whole new generation of young people that... for my birthday, I have to tell you, recently I had a birthday party, and my 12-year-old, well now 13-year-old grandson his present to me was to play and sing "I Got a Name" on the guitar. He's learning the guitar.
Oh, wow.
And you can imagine how that makes me feel.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Well, the book is called "Killing Me Softly: My Life in Music," and we got just a little glimpse of it to tonight. And it is available everywhere books are sold, and you have to get your hands on it and read this book. It's a very well done book. And Charles, once again, other than thanking you for your time, you've done so much great work. You continue to do great work with your music, and we not only wish you the best, we're very happy that you stay active and keep doing this, because maybe over the next 10 years you'll be writing soundtracks for more people in future generations, and that's the important thing. That's the thing that's just awesome about you, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This is not something when you write music, when you're privileged to write music, it's not something you give up. I mean, I'll never put down my pen. I have too many things I want to do and too many things I want to accomplish in my life, and it's wonderful to know that I have, that the choice is mine to do that. And it's just a great feeling. I must say, if your audience would like to know, there is a website for my book.
Yes.
That's killingmesoftly.com. And it's quite a nice website, and a lot of the quotes from the book and all that, and some pages. And Roberta Flack wrote the foreword for the book, and it's all there. If anyone wants to check the book out, they can find it at killingmesoftly.com.
Absolutely, and we're going to have that link posted for you on our website forever.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have the chance to go through it with you, Joel. Anyway, I'm enjoying doing it.
Well, the pleasure was ours, Charles. Thank you so much. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you've done. And yes. I'd like you to enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we look forward to more great stuff from you.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Charles Fox, everyone, the great composer. You know his work. Now you know a little more about him. The website is killingmesoftly.com. That's where you can get the book, Killing Me Softly, My Life in Music. And I'm telling you firsthand, because I'm in the middle of the book, you have got to get your hands on this book. Wonderful stories out there. That was part one of our flashback episode featuring composer and songwriter Charles Fox. We have one more flashback for you coming up after the break on this special Easter weekend episode of The Joel Michalec Show. We'll be right back.
This is New York's super oldie station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Welcome back to this special Easter weekend presentation of the Joel Michalec Show, and we're doing flashbacks today, being that it's Easter weekend, and the lovely Sharon is busy cooking up a blizzard of a meal, and we're glad you're here. Remember, we didn't get to do this earlier because we went right into the flashbacks, but you can visit us at jmtalk.net, and that gets you to the website where you can listen to the show, and you can subscribe to the show, and you can listen to the 24/7 stream of all Joel Michalec production stuff. So that's pretty cool. You can also visit us at Facebook at JM Talk and on Twitter at JM Talk Radio. So there are various ways to get a hold of us. You can also text the show. Text your thoughts to the podcast at 484-429-6061. That's 484-429-6061. Text and message and rates apply. For our next piece coming up, we're going to flash back to. Now we're not going to do the interview with John Bell, but we had this great guy on, John Bell, and he is the guy who is in charge of a very funny, very wonderful podcast called Bells in the Batfry at thebatfry.com. And every episode is unique in its own way. John does voices and characters, and he writes all the scripts, and it just does amazing, amazing stuff. And what we did is we thought we would just play for you one of our favorites. And we did. We pulled one that we aired a long time ago. He is currently, if you go to the website, the Batfry, BATFRY.com, thebatfry.com, he'll be posting episode 219 this weekend. So he's been doing this a very long time. We have like episode 50-something is what we're going to play for you tonight. But give you a taste of one of our all-time favorite episodes of Bells in the Batfry. And that's coming up right now, right here on the Joel Michalec Show. Enjoy this.
The following program takes place in real time. Events occur in the time you actually hear them. My name is Jack Bauer. I'm a special agent for an anti-terrorist group called CTU. The following 24 minutes is going to be the longest half hour of my life. Minus 6 minutes.
Bells in the Batfry presents 24 minutes. The following takes place between noon and noon 24. Our story opens at the offices of CTU, which stands for Catching Terrorist Underlings. The head of CTU is Veronica Maxwell.
Dave, have we received any new information on that terrorist cell?
It has 500 anytime minutes a month, with family-to-family free.
Does it have a rollover?
Yes.
What about the terrorist plot? Is it bad?
It's worse than the plot for this show. The terrorists have planted a nuclear device somewhere in the United States, and it's due to go off in 1 week.
Good. Then we have some breathing room.
That was the message we got a week ago. Updating the message, it says that we have less than 24 minutes before the bomb goes off.
Less than 24 minutes? How many less?
However long it took us to get to this point in the show, less.
We've got to find out where the bomb has been planted.
Well, we do have the leader of the terrorist organization in our holding cell.
We have a holding cell? How many minutes a month?
I mean, the leader is our captive. He knows where the bomb is, but he's not talking.
Went over its minutes, eh?
He refuses to give us information.
Has he been tortured?
Public outcry has stopped all torturing in the USA. There's nobody left here who even knows how to torture.
I know one man who'd know. Get me Jack Bauer on the phone.
But he was thrown out of CTU for insubordination, disobeying orders, felony mischief, punching the president, and stealing office supplies.
That's just the kind of man we need at CTU right now.
Because he's tenacious?
Because I'm out of paper clips. How long would it take to get Jack here?
Hours.
We don't have hours.
Oh, then here he is.
Hello, Veronica. Still screwing up the CTU with your incompetent management?
No time for polite chit-chat, Jack. There's a bomb due to go off in just over 20 minutes. We have a man who knows where it is. You must interrogate him.
I'm on my way. But first I gotta ask Victor here something. Victor, can you coordinate all the computers in CTU to data mine all information pertaining to the movement of fissionable materials in the last 24 hours?
Of course I can do that. What do you think I am? Some typical PC user?
Get me that information as soon as you can. I'll be at the interrogation room. But first I gotta make a phone call.
Hello, this is Tony Alameda.
Tony, Jack.
Trouble?
Plenty. Back up.
Affirmative. CTU?
PDQ.
A-OK.
CYA.
10-4.
Here's the interrogation room. You guards clear out. I want to be alone with this man.
Why do you think he wants to be alone?
Must be one of them Brokeback Mountain kind of things.
All right, Slimeball, you're going to tell me where that bomb is.
Sure, I tell you, the bomb is
Won't talk, huh?
No,
well, then...
Stop, I am telling you, the bomb is...
Maybe you'll talk if you have a hole in your knee.
No, that is not necessary. The bomb is... Ow, you sucked my kneecap.
Time is running out. Tell me where the bomb is.
Los Angeles.
Again? Can't you guys pick on any city besides Los Angeles?
We keep hoping to see famous stars.
Where in Los Angeles?
Well, it's out.
Where?
Well, it's out.
Where?
The target.
Where is the target?
The target.
Maybe you'll talk if you have a hole in your head.
What?
Maybe he wouldn't. Tony, where are you?
I made the 200-mile drive, okie doke, Jack, and I'm outside CTU right now. I just need to find a parking space.
When you get in, you're in charge. Got it? I need you as my inside man.
Why is that?
I think there's a mole in the CTU.
A double Double agent?
No, double agent is so 60s sounding. Mole is much more hip.
Mole it is then.
Get in when you can. Victor, do you get that information on fissionable material?
Yes, I cross-checked every bait and tackle store in the country. Here's a complete list of everyone that's moved fishing materials.
Fishing material. Well, thank you. That'll be a big help. Attention, everybody. Your attention, please. Is anybody in here a mole for the bad guys?
Over here. Right here.
Okay, that's what I thought. Moles out. Everybody out. M-scrape. Let's go. Hit the road. Come on. Let's move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. You two, scram. Thank you, Veronica. Who is in charge of screening personnel here at CTU?
That's my job.
What kind of intensive, probing, revealing questions do you ask potential agents?
Questions?
Yes, questions.
Jack, I am a strong, hard-bitten, tough-as-nails leader. I do what I want as I see fit. Nobody tells me what to do. I'm in total charge of any situation.
Tony's on his way in. He's taking over.
Okie doke.
I'm flying to Budapest.
But the bomb is here in L.A.
There's a connection there who'll have more information, but I don't have time to tell you about it. The bomb is set to go off in 19 minutes and 17 seconds.
While you were talking, I booked you a flight. It takes off in 30 seconds from LAX.
Good heavens, that's barely enough time for me to shower, shave, and hit the road.
Meanwhile, somewhere in Los Angeles.
We planted a bomb.
And a good bomb it is, too.
Very good bomb. Very, very high tech.
Yes, it's good to be back in action again.
Yes, it's good to be back.
In the trenches.
We are now landing in Budapest. Please return your seats to the upright position and stow all weapons beneath your seat.
This is Jack Bauer.
Daddy, this is Dim. Dim Bauer, your daughter?
I can't talk now, sweetie. I'm in a car driving to a secret location.
Daddy, I've been kidnapped.
Again?
Can you come rescue me?
I'm a bit busy right now. I'm on a bicycle on a dirt trail. Is this the People's Red Brigade kidnapping?
No, that was last week.
The Jihad Gentlemen of Jersey?
Yesterday.
Oh.
Look, Daddy, come rescue me, okay?
Honey, I've got to save the world.
Daddy!
All right, I'll swing by. Where are you?
I don't know. Can you have all the government satellites look for me? I'll hang out the window and wave my arms to make it easy.
Yeah, fine. Okay, look, I gotta go. Jack Bauer.
Jack, finally I get you on the phone. This is your current romantic interest, remember?
What is it? I'm kind of stressed for time here.
Time, that's what I called about. Jack, when do we get time together? I'm not seeing you. We need to discuss things.
I'll call you back. Cleo, are you there?
Jack, my new desk is too small. This phone smells funny. How come nobody wants to go out with me?
Cleo, I need you to get all the government satellites to look for Dim. She's somewhere on the Earth's surface.
No problem. How are things in Budapest?
I just roller skated down the side of a mountain to meet with my contact. Gotta go. Hello? Marvin!
Hello?
Are you in there?
Is that you, Jack?
Yeah, it's me!
Open fire, guys.
Hi, Marv.
Jack, how'd you get in here?
I knew you'd have a trap set for me at the front door, so I used this spoon to tunnel in. What do you know about the bomb, Marvin?
The one in San Francisco?
The one in L.A.
Not the one in Washington.
L.A., Marv. And be quick. I only have 16 minutes, 56 seconds.
Then I won't waste time telling you where the bomb is. I'll have my private pilot take you in my jet.
Excellent. This will look good on your permanent record, Marvin. Works and plays well with others.
Meanwhile, the President of the United States addresses the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen of the United Country of States of America, as your president, it is my sad duty to inform you that there's a bomb somewhere in the country of ours. And it will go off in just a few minutes, but I can't tell you this because you'd panic. Oh, wait, these are my private notes. Please excuse me. Fellow citizens, all is well. We have decided to surrender to the terrorists.
Look at the big purple lizard.
Uh-oh.
They're on pogo sticks.
Later, dear. Now, about my re-election.
Tell me about the rabbits, dear.
Jack, where are you?
I'm in a private jet flying back to L.A. We're currently over Minnesota.
We found Dim. She's in Minnesota.
You did a great job, Cleo. Remind me to respect you more.
Can I get a computer upgrade, like to an Xbox 360?
Not now, you silly twit. Excuse me, pilot. Do you have a parachute?
Sure, right here. But why would you want to...
So long.
Hey, you left your peanuts?
Yo.
Tony?
That you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm parachuting into Minnesota. I had to blow up the plane I was in.
Terrorist?
No, we just need to blow up something every minute or so or we'll lose our audience. Are you making progress at your end?
Oh, yeah, excellent progress. I think there's a Volvo that's going to pull out of a space in a few minutes. I'll be parked in no time.
Keep up the good work. Patch me over to Cleo.
Cleo here. Where are you, Jack?
I've landed in Minnesota to find my daughter.
It's a good thing you're there. Some terrorist blew up a private jet in flight, and the debris landed on a Knights of Columbus picnic.
Oh, yeah, I'll look into that when I get the chance. Check out. I don't think anybody will miss this Model T. Jack Bauer.
Jack, finally. This is still your current romantic interest, Lulu.
What do you want?
When? Are we getting together? You promised we need time. There's a lot to discuss. So much has happened.
Yeah.
Jack, you're changed since you've gone CTU. I've heard you raise your voice. Jack, we need to discuss.
I don't raise my voice and I'll call you back.
Halt! Who goes there?
I'm just a tourist. Where am I?
You're at Minnesota's greatest landmark, the Big Ball of Twine.
Big Ball of Twine, huh? Take this!
How did you know?
If you were really a Minnesotan, you would have called it the biggest ball of twine. Where's my daughter? Where's Dim?
Inside the Big Ball of...
Where's Dim?
Jeez, I'm trying to tell you, inside the Big Ball of Twine.
Since I gave you that information,
will you not kill me?
Should have negotiated before you told me. Dim! Dim! Hello?
Daddy!
Dim! I'm at the Twine Ball in Minnesota. I can't find you.
Oh, one of the kidnappers fell for me and helped me escape, but he got killed in an ambush by a rival kidnapping gang, and while they were fighting it out, I got kidnapped.
Great. Where are you?
I don't know, but I'll wave out the window.
Stay brave, honey. I'll find you.
Okie doke.
Cleo, are you there?
Where else would I be? They work me too hard. My hair's a mess. Do you think I have an overbite?
You need to get all the satellites looking for...
Looking for Dim, yes, I know. The president has authorized the launching of 25 new satellites just for keeping track of your daughter.
Let me know when you get lucky.
Pat Chan.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C.
Mr. President, as ambassador from some unnamed Soviet country, I must insist that we speak in private.
Okie doke, Mr. Sinamovich. Please step into this room. You, Secret Service, keep out. This is a private meeting.
I must protest, sir. I cannot allow you to meet in private with Mr. Sinabovich. We have reason to believe he may try something.
He knows I'm happily married.
No, sir. I mean, he may try to kidnap you to divert our attention away from finding the bomb.
No, don't be ridiculous. Let us meet in private.
Very well, sir.
Well, we're finally alone. What is it you wanted to discuss?
We discuss how you are now my hostage, and this will divert attention from finding bomb.
Oh, poop.
This is Jack Bauer.
Jack, this is Cleo. Where are you?
I'm flying over the ocean in some kind of time and spaceship. What's up?
It's about the kidnapping.
You found Dim?
No, the president.
The president found Dim?
No, the president's been kidnapped.
What is it, contagious?
Should you help the president or find the bomb?
I should have plenty of time to do both. Jack out. Thanks for giving me a lift, Mr.
Dr. Steve.
Where are you headed?
1776. I'm going to pick up some valuable autographs. Can I drop you off at any particular date or time?
No. On this show, we don't take time shortcuts.
Yes, baloney would be nice, Fidget. Would you like a sandwich too, mister?
No time. Gotta save the world.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
You know, this is quite a ship. Are you the most brilliant scientist in the world?
That depends. Does the name Dr. Floyd ring a bell?
No.
Then yes, I am. Well, time for you to go, so to speak. There's the exit. Now watch that first step.
Hi. Sorry about that. Is this your hut?
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Locke. This is my pad.
A padlock, huh? Are you a castaway?
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip that started out in Australia aboard Oceanic. The turbulence was getting rough, the jumbo jet was tossed. Regardless of the efforts of a fearless crew, the tail section was lost.
The tail section was lost?
That's right.
The tail section was lost. What next?
It was really, really bad.
So tell me what you had.
No phones, no lights, no motor cars. I tell you, it's no joke. Just the occasional polar bear and some black intelligent smoke. So join us in the bunker, my friend, and meet your destiny. And try to figure out what the hell's going on with the Lost 43.
That That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Well, I had to change the music around so it wouldn't get sued.
No, I mean the whole cockamamie story is just ridiculous.
Well, look who's talking, Mr. Travel Around the World in 24 minutes.
That reminds me, I've only got 10 minutes and 15 seconds to find the bomb. Is there a way off this island?
If there was, don't you think we would have used it?
Then Ellie is doomed.
Okay, listen, shh. Go about a mile that way. You'll find the Honolulu airport. Just don't tell anybody.
Thanks.
And watch out for the others. They're a heartless, bloodthirsty crew.
Natives?
Network executives. Meanwhile, at the White House...
You can't hold me prisoner like this. You must let me go.
Niet. Only way out for you is to attempt to fight me man to man. Take my weapon away from me. Come on.
All right, if that's what it takes. Take this too.
Oh boy, I should have kidnapped First Lady. Maybe I did.
Yeah, Jack.
Jack, Tony.
Tony, I'm flying back to L.A. What's your status?
We found it, Jack. We found it.
Great, you found a bomb.
We found a parking space. Cleo's laying down in it right now so nobody can take it.
Okay.
Wait, there's a car careening around the corner. It's heading towards the space. It's not stopping. Cleo's getting up. She's reaching into a blouse. She's got a submachine gun.
Holy Shamoli! Dim, is that you?
Daddy! I escaped from the kidnappers, but I'm gonna need a new car. Oh, I have one of the kidnappers in the trunk, and he knows where the bomb is.
Open the trunk and let me talk to him.
Okie doke. Daddy wants to talk to you.
It's very hot in here.
Where's the bomb?
I don't think I am going to make
The
it.
bomb! Where is it set to go off?
The target.
Yes!
The target. Jack!
Yes, I'm here, Tony.
No, I mean the Jack fell on him. He's dead.
Oh, our time is almost up. We'll never find the target.
I know where it is.
Tony, did Dim just say something?
Yeah, she did.
Did it sound like something that could be potentially helpful?
Yeah, it did.
I'm scared, man. I guess I'd better talk to her. Bring her to the phone.
Yo, Dim, old man wants to talk to you.
Hi, Daddy.
Do you know where the target is?
Here, Daddy. It's out at the mall. I shop there all the time.
Of course. When they talked about the target, they really meant the target. Let me talk to Tony.
Am I getting a new car or what?
Yes, sweetheart, let me talk to Tony.
Okie doke.
Yo, Tony here. Where are you, Jack?
I'm surrounding the Target store here in L.A.
All by yourself?
I'm very fast. I'm in the parking lot right now. Send for backup. Send for backup. Send it here immediately. I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna get through this parking lot.
Yo, backup's on its way, Jack.
Hey, you, take this. That'll teach you to park in a handicapped space. Hey, you kid, selling those Girl Scout cookies. Eat grenade. Nothing stops the good old USA. Okay, I'm around this corner. I gotta get inside. I gotta get past all these carts. Okay, I'm outside. Ooh, that popcorn smells good. I'll have to get someone to get inside. All right, here goes nothing. All right, everybody, just listen to me. Attention, everybody, please just settle down. Attention, there is not a problem. I just need to know. Has anybody here seen a large nuclear bomb?
Oh boy. Like, that'd be like aisle 5, man.
Oh.
You know, household goods and small electronics. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3, aisle 4. There it is. Now where's my backup? All right. An FBI helicopter landing on all the Hello Kitty merchandise. Over here, fellas, over here.
Here we are, sir. We're here at your disposal. I'm Agent Franklin. That's Agent Franklin. He's Agent Franklin. That's Agent Franklin. Over there's Agent Franklin, and Franklin. You can call us Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Jack.
So which one of you is our bomb disposal expert?
Well, that would be you, Jack. I'm afraid none of us are really qualified for that, but we did bring you something really handy.
What did you bring me?
A really nifty countdown device that tells you how many seconds are left before the bomb goes off. Look.
Detonation in 5 minutes, 40 seconds.
Cool, huh? We got it down on aisle 7.
We can't waste any more time. The thing I need you guys to do is clear out this store now.
All right, you heard it, guys. Clear out the store now!
Wait a minute. What? I said clear the store out. I mean, get the people out of the store.
Yeah?
Alive.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, everybody that's left, you want to head to the immediate exits there? You want to move along there? Yeah, scoot. Thank you very much. Mr. Bow Wow, to give you plenty of room, I'm going to get rid of all the other agents here, and I'm going to be the one staying right here just in case you need assistance, okay?
First, I've got to gather together some bomb-defusing tools.
Oh, yeah, they'll be over in aisle 14. We shop here all the time.
Okay, this will take a few minutes. In the meantime, I wonder how the hostage situation in the White House is going on.
Oh, I heard that the head of CTU, Michalec, has shown up and is negotiating with the terrorists holding the president hostage.
Head of CTU, you have nothing to put on table.
That's where you're wrong, Sinovovich. You think I'm going to fold and leave you all the chips. We don't work that way at CTU. I think you're bluffing.
Bluffing me?
I think you have nothing. So here's what I'm going to offer.
Do your best.
Careful, Veronica. I think he's got something up his sleeve.
All he's got there is a bad tattoo. I'm going to see your 20-ruble raise and raise you $50. And I call.
You got the $50? That is much money.
Put up or shut up, Al.
No.
You've already bet all your money, your rifle, and the president.
Can I get off the table yet?
Not yet, sir. It's all up to our host.
Oh, Khrushchev in a bucket. I fold. Take your crummy president.
Dave, collect my winnings.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Not him, you idiot. The cash.
Oh, right. Sorry.
We will play again, head of CTU. And when we do, it will be old maid.
Take him away.
You cannot blame me. I am old and lonely man.
Mr. President, your wife is here to see you.
Honey, always good to see you. What an experience I've had. How was your day?
The Blue Fairy took me to the land of pickles.
Yes, of course. Say, dear, there's somebody I'd like you to meet. Mr. Sinovovich, wait just a minute.
No, you don't. Keep it away from me. I'm not that lonely.
You did a great thing today, Veronica.
But it will all be for naught if Jack can't disarm that bomb.
And so the president was saved, and he lived happily ever after.
Gee, that was a good story.
Yes. Well,
Can I have another one?
No, it's time for you to go to
please,
bed.
Grandpa.
I'm sorry, let me tuck you in. Give you a little kiss. Nighty-night.
Nighty-night, Grandpa.
Well, I suppose I'll catch a little TV now, and then some shut-eye. I wonder who that could be. Coming. Yes, may I help you?
What are you doing in my show?
Your show? Listen, young man, I heard that hop gliss thing, and that means that we're wrapping up the story, and this was the best way
I don't have time to argue.
No,
Take this. I don't believe this. I only have 24 minutes to save the world, and we change from an action adventure to some sappy bedtime story. I gotta get back into my show now. Let's see. Okay, where were we?
Detonation in 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, thanks. This is it. I've got about 2 minutes left. I've got all my tools. I've got to disarm that bomb.
Hey, Mr. Bow Wow, we're going to be right behind you. About 6 miles behind you down the road. But we've cleared out the entire area. We've set up a perimeter. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. You're all set to go.
All right, here I go.
Detonation in 1 minute, 46 seconds.
Could you turn that off, please?
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, the pressure thing and everything. Yeah, I don't know if I can.
And you stand right there, just in case I need you.
All right.
All right. Here goes. Go! Jack Bow Wow.
Jack, this is your current romantic interest, Lulu, again. You know what? I've been thinking I can take it if you raise your voice once in a while. I've been thinking there's a lot we can do with our relationship.
Can you hold on to this phone for me, please?
Sure, yeah, Mr. Bow Wow.
All right, now to take care of this.
Mr. Bow Wow? Is something wrong, sir?
Where's the bathroom?
The bathroom, sir?
I've been traipsing nonstop around the world.
Well, yeah, but
I really need to go to the bathroom.
Right over there, sir, but I think...
I'll be right back.
Yeah, but okay, make it quick.
I have 7 years of it. Jack, we can watch 7 years of Little House on the Prairie together, just you and me, by a little fire.
Detonation in 40 seconds.
Jack!
Teach you how to crochet. They were having trouble in their relationship, and now they're together all the time, and they've crocheted this huge blanket. And every time I see them, it gets bigger and bigger and more colorful.
Jack!
It reflects the relationship they have. That's the way I view us having. Oh, Jack, together, think of it. We could even have them sit down and play canasta with us. Certainly on Tuesday. They can bring over their blankets
I needed that. Now I should have just enough time to disarm that.
And there you have it, kiddies. Bells in the Batfry with a very comedic take and parody on 24. One of my favorite shows ever on television. But they did a great job with it. Very funny stuff. And I hope you enjoyed it. So it's Easter weekend. The weather is nice in most parts of the country. So hopefully you're getting out and doing some things and enjoying yourselves. And whatever you're doing, I hope you're being safe. I'm going to get ready to get out of here and have a delicious ham dinner. And it's weird. I wanted to do a show on food traditions for different holidays. But you know what? We have 52 weeks in a year, so plenty of opportunity to do these kinds of things. Plenty of opportunity. But anyway, I want to tell you that the website is jmtalk.net, and I'd like you to stop by there if you can't get enough of us. If you cannot wait until the next podcast drops, then you can go there and you can click on the 24/7 stream button, and you can listen to us all the time right there on the web. Also, subscribe to the podcast so you do not miss an episode. And also visit us at JM Talk over there at Facebook and on Twitter at JM Talk Radio. So the various ways you can get a hold of us. Next week on the podcast, we will resume our regular features of Honor Thy Heroes and Wombat of the Week. And we've got 2 new ones for you. So that will all resume next week at our regularly scheduled podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this flashback, getting a taste of some of the things that I used to do way back, pulling out files from the old radio days. I'm still in radio. Why would I even say that? But anyway, so I'm pulling out some things from the old radio days and hoping that you enjoy these flashback episodes that we've been doing here and there as circumstances call for. We'll be doing some more equipment testing because we're getting ready for the summer season, which means we'll be traveling our weekends. And so we'll be testing some more equipment. We're modifying some things because we want to make sure that we can bring you the podcast each week. And not only that, but maybe some special segments and some special Facebook Live videos from our travels. Meanwhile, make sure to visit the website for all the goodies. Give us a shout out. You can email us at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. Send us an email, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. And we want you to love and not hate and be good to each other, because that's the way we're going to cure things. Okay? Meanwhile, we'll catch you next week on the Joel Michalec Show podcast. Behave. Happy Easter, everybody. Good night.